right. Looks like we're good. I'll get started. Sorry for the delay there. Just some technical difficulties. My name is James Pepper. Today is Wednesday, October 9th. It is 1:08 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. This is a special meeting, not part of our regular schedule. However, this has now become kind of a regular meeting. We don't have a evidentiary hearing today. We do have some applications to approve and a presumptive disqualification to look at. I think before we get started, I'm just going to make one change to the agenda and move the item that's at 105, the review and act on recommendation for overcoming presumptive disqualification. I'm going to move that to after we do the late license application reviews. And other than that, any other changes to the agenda, Julie or Kyle?
Nope.
No.
Okay. All right. Then why don't we open a public comment? Just if you join via the link, feel free to raise your virtual hand if you'd like to comment. Or if you join via phone, you can hit *6 to unmute yourself. All right, I'll close the public comment window, and Olga, I'll turn things over to you to kind of walk us through these late license renewals.
Yes, I'll have a few slides for you today, and some of them are staff recommendations for licensure, but also I have some data slides to share with you as well. So let's get into that. So first, I have a few slides to update you on what our licensing division has seen post the board's latest announcement about pausing the acceptance of retail and cultivator tier 2 applications as of October 25th. So in this slide, you can see that we currently have 3 cultivator tier 2 submissions in progress. So just 3, one each in Bennington, Rutland, and Windsor. In terms of their status, more specifically, 2 of these applicants are very much on track to meet the October 25th completion deadline.
Great.
The one of them is actually fully complete, and the other one only needs a site visit from our compliance team. And that site visit is actually scheduled already. If that's successful, this will finalize the application process for that applicant. The final submission has a bit more left to do, but our licensing team is in constant communications with that applicant and keeping them informed of all outstanding items in real time. So overall, all 3 have been engaged and are making steady progress.
Great.
So that's our cultivator submissions.
Julie's good.
Oh, Julie? Yes.
Are these folks who are brand new to the market, or do they have other licenses?
I don't know. I do not
That's okay
know.
if you don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll find out. See what we can. Yes, I'm sure somebody from the team will let me know.
Thank you.
Okay. So next, let's see. Now I have a slide on retail submissions. There are currently 13, actually, as of I think yesterday they were 13. I think I just heard we have another one. So those are full retail applications in a queue. 9 of those were already in progress when the pause was announced, and we had 4 additional, now 5 I hear, that have been submitted since, including a couple that came through in the last couple of days. So all 13 or now 14 applicants are actively working with our licensing team. Our team is prioritizing responses to this specific group of the applicants to make sure they're aware of any outstanding requirements. Sort of a quick breakdown, a couple of those are ready and will be on a schedule later this month, so they're complete. A couple, 2 or 3 others just have a site visit remaining, so they're also very close. Obviously, if you have a longer list of outstanding items, and since we've just gotten a couple new ones, the team has not had a chance to assess what is going on with those applications. But again, all of this being worked on in real time. As you could tell, Burlington leads the way with 3 applications in the queue. And the rest of the towns are listed here as well. So that's, if anybody has any questions, please go ahead.
No, I mean, just a comment, which I'm sure we're doing, is that, anyone who's gotten their application in after the pause was announced is, in my view, probably, unless they have the perfect application, probably not going to make the November complete deadline.
Yeah.
So as long as that's being clearly communicated to those folks,
Yes, and our team is very good, both in writing and over the phone. Those communications have been happening. And also, I just heard from our licensing team on the question about cultivators, and 2 of them are brand new, Julie, and 1 has a license already.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool to see Groton on that list. Wasn't expecting that.
which one? Oh yeah, Groton, I know.
Yeah.
It's more of the rural areas that we're hoping that people consider.
All right. I do have one additional slide here as well, if you are ready. So this slide is actually on the draft retail submissions. So for the purposes of this slide, our licensing team pulled together information on all retail applications drafts that were started on or as of September 25th. So again, the day the pause was announced, this is the information of anybody who has started drafting an application, but is yet to submit that.
Gotcha.
So this could give us a little insight of what to expect. As of yesterday, we had 15 draft retail applications that were started since 9/25. We can expect that most, if not all of this, might be submitted, turned into full application by the deadline.
Yeah.
Of course, some folks may choose not to finish their drafts. We don't know that. We have some limited data available because, again, those are just drafts, so information is limited. 8 of those applications, we do not even have a proposed location information yet. The rest, the other 7, we do have that information. And again, as the chair mentioned, the deadline for completion is November 15th. So for anybody who is thinking about submitting their drafts, time is definitely of the essence. And that's the status of the draft retail. I do also have, I don't have a slide for it, but I have information on cultivator tier 2s that are in draft form as well. I apologize for not having a slide on that. But we have 4 cultivator tier 2 drafts submitted post the announcement, pause announcement. Out of those, 2 are blank. So it doesn't seem like those 2 are moving forward. And the other 2 have some information provided already. So those 2 may be turned into full application. But again, we're about 2 weeks from the completion deadline for the cultivators. So again, at this point, it's very highly unlikely that any draft can be turned and completed in time. So that's the information on the drafts that we have in the pipeline.
Okay, thank you for that.
Just to say this out loud, I think we still can prioritize based on market need. I wonder if we can prioritize the ones that are seeking to open in areas where there is no retailer over those that are in places that are fairly saturated.
I think we can. I'm looking at 903, and we can prioritize based on the geographic distribution of cannabis establishments and market needs. So we can have a conversation whether we should ask licensing to prioritize the ones that are in less populated areas or less, the zones of density.
Yeah.
Has Sharon opted in? Are they opting in November? I know, I've read. I know that it's hopeful that it does happen soon, or it just happened. And
yeah, I've heard about Sharon and Heinsberg is the 2.
Yeah.
I think Heinsberg wanted to do it on town meeting day. Sharon maybe sooner.
Okay. Well, again, those are just drafts.
Yeah.
So
right.
we'll see if
They progress.
they progress. Yeah, it's also possible they will not, but okay. And that is the last slide on data that we have available. And so now we are on to the staff recommendations for licensure. If you're ready for that.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So here is a list of the late and complete renewal applications. I have 2 slides here. As a reminder, these businesses did not submit timely and complete renewal applications. However, they have since submitted their late renewal filings in accordance with the Rule 1.15.1D for the board's consideration. All of the submissions have been provided to the board prior to this meeting, and our staff believe each establishment now meets essential legal requirements for renewal. Under the rule, the board is now to decide whether to accept a late application. Just a note here, by far the most common reason of application delays here is the confusion about or miscommunication during the background check process. And it is one of our highest operating priorities to find a simpler and less costly way to meet statutory background check requirements, as I know the board is focused on as well. So that is the first slide, and I'll leave it up for a little bit.
I actually don't think we have anyone who's joined by phone. So you don't have to leave
Okay.
up for too long.
All right, then I'm going on to the next slide. And again, second slide of late and complete applications.
Okay.
We
Great.
could probably,
Yeah, is there a motion to, well, what is it? Is it to extend the,
no, that's
it's just to accept
to
them?
accept.
Okay, all right.
Pursuant to Rule 1.15.1, I move that the board act favorably on the requests of the applicants listed to have their renewal applications accepted late, and that the board adopt staff recommendations to approve the applications with issuance subject to payment of licensing fees and any other contingencies.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Did you want some discussion? Sorry, Julie.
No,
Okay,
I don't have
All right.
anything to add now.
Delay or something.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Now moving on then. And so here I have for your consideration 4 late renewal applications accompanied by a written explanation of the untimely filings. 3 of this have an outstanding background check requirement, and the 4th has a background check and a tax-related outstanding item. All submissions have been shared with the board. Staff recommends that the board uses its authority under Rule 1.15.1D to accept these late applications and continue the licenses, existing licenses until such time as the renewal process is completed. And again, when a renewed license is issued to each of these applicants, their 1-year expiration date will be the same one that would have been assigned if the renewals were timely. So there is just 1 slide here.
Okay. Any questions for Olga?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Is there a motion to continue these?
Yeah, pursuant to Rule 1.15.1, I move that the board accept the late applications listed and continue the licenses in force until our next regular meeting, provided that the licenses are approved for renewal by staff if the required information is received earlier.
Is
Second.
there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So that's the wrap for the late renewal applications. And we have just 1 more matter for you today, and that is, as you know, employee ID card applications come to you when there is a presumptively disqualifying conviction. This typically involves personal information that is non-public under the Public Records Act. Today, we have 1 such application for you to consider. Our compliance staff recommend favorable action and have supplied non-public background documents to you. Gabe and I have discussed this matter, and it is Gabe's recommendation that you act now, if comfortable, with the written materials shared with you. However, if you have questions or would like to discuss, a motion to enter executive session would be appropriate here.
I've read all of the documents that were provided to us. I personally don't need a executive session to discuss, but I'm happy to entertain one, of course.
I think I'm good.
Agreed.
Okay, I mean, this submission number, the S9301, is that linked to a name in any way publicly?
Not publicly.
So we could discuss just in general terms what we saw and not violate anyone's confidentiality.
Yeah, Gabe.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, when we kind of had the list of criteria to overcome presumptive disqualification, I feel like this person has kind of satisfied each of those, nature and circumstances, that, the length of time in between, whether there's intervening convictions. So I'm comfortable with accepting that this person has overcome presumptive disqualification. Right. So is there a motion to?
Yep. So I move that the board find the presumption of disqualification has been overcome and authorize issuance of this ID card.
Second?
Any discussion?
Nope, I'm good.
I don't.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. All right. So is that everything on the agenda?
That is all I got for you, and I think that covers the agenda as well.
Okay, great. Well, anything we need to discuss before we adjourn?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, thanks everyone, and I'll adjourn the meeting.